Hey YouTubers, thanks for tuning in to Kmrs, Kuraan Media Review Show, where we discuss movies, music, comics, and television. So first up on our roster today, we're going to talk about Chuck. If you have not seen the show Chuck, which has been out for a few years now, and it's on Netflix, by the way, if you are interested in watching it, it is the type of show that is every nerd's dream. You know, you get an intersect in your head, you get superpowers, plus you get to date a super hot chick. I mean, that's, you know, every nerd's, I guess, franchise of a dream. So that's the essence of the show. Chuck has this intersect in his head that has all these government secrets, and, you know, he's kind of this asset for this, you know, government team to take down all these other spies. He ends up becoming a spy, learns kung fu from a, you know, another intersect that he gets downloaded, falls in love, you know, with his partner who was kind of watching over him, Sarah Walker. And, you know, we finally got to the last season, and I mean, it was kind of like Shutter Island to me, almost, where it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't really expect for that to happen, but, you know, kind of makes me feel happy and sad and emotional, and I don't like that, but it was really intense. So I'm not really spoiling anything because the show has been out for years, but, you know, I really loved the whole show. Great, you know, story, and I love the action, and you know, the romance and the mystery and all this stuff. So, you know, it was a really good show, and I think they ended it well. So I just had to talk about Chuck because I love the show. Chuck is my dog. Now let's talk about Once Upon a Time. Just finished Once Upon a Time on Hulu Plus, and man, this whole season was just bizarre, man. I mean, you know, they defeated Peter Pan, who was crazy, and, you know, they're back in Storybrooke, and, you know, Emma, she's really learning how to develop and strengthen her magical powers, and they defeat the Wicked Witch, and, you know, Rumpelstiltskin ends up killing the Wicked Witch, and, you know, with all of that, there's this time portal that ends up blasting, you know, through Storybrooke, and Emma and Captain Hook, they end up going through this time capsule, and now they're back, you know, in the past, and it's kind of like, not if, you are lame if you have not seen Back to the Future. That is an American movie, so you should see that, and anyone should know this quote. But nonetheless, it's kind of like Back to the Future, where it's like, you know, everything that they do is detrimental to this point, so when they go back to the future, back to the past, you know, it's like they have to watch everything that they do, the people that they meet and talk to, because it could have, you know, devastating effects on the future. So not only is the future at risk by them being back in the past, you know, they're also making a few little clumsy mistakes, but, you know, based off of moralistic, you know, heartfelt views. And so the evil queen, she ends up sentencing this lady to death, and Emma, she gets captured because, you know, she got into some trouble at this ball thing. And so, you know, Emma, you know, wants to save this girl, and, you know, the only way that she can really live is if they take her back to the future with them. Unknowingly, they get back to the future. You know, Rumpelstiltskin, you know, kind of helps them get back into the portal. You know, and he forgets, you know, all that he's learned, you know, about his future by drinking this potion and all this stuff. So they get back to the future, and they take, you know, the girl with them. They kidnap her in order that she might live. But, you know, unknowingly, they didn't know that this woman was Robin Hood's, you know, wife, who he thought was dead. And now the evil queen and Robin Hood, they were hooked up, and so now that's messed up, and now you got this tension between Emma and the evil queen once again. So that's kind of a little cliffhanger for what's, you know, going to happen next. But then, here's the big stuff. Elsa's going to be in Storybrooke. Elsa, she is in Once Upon a Time. I was just curious, was anyone at this point singing Let It Go in their minds? I hope I wasn't the only man singing that song. I mean, I'm not ashamed if I was, but that was just going through my mind once I seen that particular moment. that happened and Elsa walking into Storybrooke, the song was just going through my head. So that season came to an end. It was great, and I think that they did a very strategic thing with bringing in such a popular character such as Elsa, which, you know, would draw a lot of attention. And I think a lot of the questions now that are being raised, obviously, by fans is, you know, is Elsa going to be good or is she going to be bad? My predictions and my guess is that, you know, she's going to be kind of this neutral character who really can't control her powers, and Storybrooke's going to be frozen. And then I think eventually we'll end up seeing her sister, and, you know, there kind of be some type of duel or friction between the both of them. So I'm assuming it won't necessarily be just, you know, how we've seen things in the movie with Frozen, but, you know, like I said, she'll be somewhat of a neutral character. That's my guess on that. All right, aside from TV shows, I'd like to talk about one of my addictions, one of my collection things. Oh God, I feel like I'm in a AA circle. My name is Kuraan, and I collect movies. Honestly, you know, one of the things me and my wife do, we do this like probably almost every other day or usually on weekends. So we go to pawn shops, and we like to collect movies. That is our thing. So just yesterday, I went to the pawn shop and I picked up a few great classics. So got this bad boy right here, Michael Keaton, Batman movie, which is about $5. I mean, the Blu-rays at the pawn shop we go to, you get Blu-rays for $5, DVDs for $1. And so behind me, I mean, I have this huge collection of movies that we've just collected over time. So yeah, that's my advice. If you are a movie collector and you love movies, man, I would definitely check out pawn shops. I'm not telling you where my pawn shop is, because that's my pawn shop. Go find your own pawn shop. But yeah, that's one of the things I do. I mean, I'm a movie, music geek, comics. I love all that stuff. And as always, if you like what you received from today's show, Kmrs, please click that subscribe button to get the latest on movies, music, comics, and television. Peace.